My name is Becky and I'm the Learning and Outreach Officer at Rosslyn Chapel. Rosslyn Chapel is a beautifully decorated, ornately carved medieval building. The chapel has many unique stories, mysteries, theories all around it, and the Junior Guides is a tour that's purely by children for children.
There's so many mysteries about the chapel, it shouldn't be difficult to get Sandy interested. I would like to see if I could solve some of the mysteries for myself.
Mysteries? What do you mean? Like what?
The Junior Guides are the primary sevens from the local school, which is Rosslyn Primary School.
Look, more visitors, and from another town, judging by their strange clothing.
Oh yes, don't they look funny? You girl, you know I can see your ankles.
Shocking.
We work with them, train them up to be tour guides of the chapel. They take on characters, personalities, roles and times in history, and they then give tours to visiting schools.
I'm a silly green man with a funny green hat. I'll dance all about and that is that. We love things green as you'll have seen, like bogies and slime and mouldy old cheese. What if it's green? Yes please.
I think that it's just a brilliant way to invite children into the chapel, to give them something different, to give them a learning experience that's enjoyable, engaging, really fun, really interesting.
Some people say there is another reason why Sir William built this chapel, because he had a special secret to hide. Shh! Never mind that. Look at how beautiful it is anyway, even if it was never finished.
The biggest thing that you see throughout the year is the development in their confidence and their communication skills. It's really amazing to watch, especially some of the kids, how much they develop over the year, from that first rehearsal where they're kind of shy and hiding in a corner and not really wanting to do much, to someone that can stand up in front of a chapel of people. It's really brilliant.
We stonemasons spent over 40 years working on the carvings in the chapel. We each have our own special mark, a mason's mark, that we carve to show that this piece or that is our work.
This is my mark.
Within the tour, you will meet some green men, which are taken from the famous green men that are carved into Rosslyn Chapel. You will meet some modern day tourists, the Victorian ladies, you meet Lord and Lady CLAIR themselves, and you meet the stonemasons that built the chapel. So I think the visiting school just gets a really positive experience of the chapel. They learn, probably sometimes without even realising that they're learning. They experience characters and stories that are put into context, and yeah, just a really engaging and fun way to learn about a really unique building with lots of twists and turns along the way.
Look, more visitors, and from another town, judging by their strange clothing.
Oh yes, don't they look funny? You girl, you know I can see your ankles.
Shocking.
We're Victorian ladies and you're shocked as you really have. We ladies must not reveal our arms, ankles and company. My mother would have fainted at this outrage of your ankles. Oh, bring me my smell salts, I feel to faint myself.
Oh yes, Winifred and Augusta, my dears, but we are modern Victorian lady travellers, are we not? We would never be so rude as to reveal our ankles like this young lady. But look at us out here at Rosslyn Chapel, all by ourselves, being inspired by all this beauty.
It's the height of fashion among our friends to travel in Scotland and marrying the beautiful things like Rosslyn Chapel.
Then boasting at parties about what we saw and where we've been.
You could really all use a Victorian makeover, boys and girls. We shall transform you into respectable Victorians. First of all, stand up straight. Oh, much straighter than that. You girl, you could do better than that. Now, put your nose in the air and try to look as though you can smell something bad.
I think you can, Agnes.
Don't be so rude, Winifred.
You're all looking much better already, even though some of you only have half your clothing on. Boys, put your hands behind you like this. Girls, put your hands in front of you like this. No fidgeting.
No smelling and no having fun.
Oh, that's much better. Now let us tell you why we have come to visit the chapel. Our Queen, Queen Victoria, came here and thought it was a wonderful place, but it had become very run down. The walls were crumbling and ivy crept round all the pillars. It looked like a fairy tale. So many of the great writers and artists of our time came here to paint it or be inspired to write poems.
One of Britain's most famous painters, Turner, came to Rosslyn to paint the chapel, and two of Scotland's most famous writers, Robert Burns and Sir Walter Scott, both came to admire the chapel's beauty.
The part of the chapel that we are standing in now was built during our time, the Victorian era, and is called the baptistry. This is where babies would be christened or baptised, and this is where the original chapel would have ended.
In the 1600s, that is 400 years ago, Britain was ruled by a man named Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell and his army had overthrown the king so he could rule instead. Not everybody liked Oliver and his friends. When they first came, they used it to stable their horses and fire at the chapel walls and statues. Can you see the holes in the walls? These are bullet holes made by lead bullets from Cromwell's army. These are some of the bullets now. Keep them in the bag and pass them round.
We've told you a lot about the area of the chapel that you've been standing in now, and about our time, the Victorian era. We've told you that famous artists and writers came here to be inspired.
I'm feeling quite creative, ladies, I really am. Shall we go get our watercolours and do a little painting? Perhaps the boys and girls could run along now and do something themselves back at school, like a painting or stained glass windows now they've been inspired by this beautiful place.
What a good idea, Augusta. But first, boys and girls, you shall look at your quiz. There are a few questions for you to answer. Once you have, we will stamp your sheet. Please ask if you get stamped.
An animal with a bushy tail.
For a clue, it's climbing a tree.
I think it's time for you to leave us now and make your way down the centre of the chapel to the altar. There you will meet a very important couple, Sir William and Lady St. Clair. Sir William was the man that commanded that this chapel be built many hundreds of years ago. I hope you know how to bow and curtsy to an important man and his lady wife.
I think we better teach them, just in case, Agnes. Boys, you should bow low and use your right hand to make a graceful gesture, which will remove your hat, should you be wearing one. Boys, let me see you bow. Well done, very graceful.
Girls, put your right foot behind your left and curtsy down low, bowing your head as you do so. Girls, let me see you curtsy. That's it. Now remember, when you stand in front of Sir William and Lady St. Clair, don't forget to bow and curtsy.
Farewell, young friends, and good luck.
All bow to the Lord and Lady.
Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to my magnificent chapel. I am Sir William St. Clair, and I built this chapel over 500 years ago.
And I am his wife, Lady St. Clair. This is my lady in waiting. And we would like to tell you about why and how this beautiful chapel was built, and why it was never really finished.
This woman here is our scribe.
I am writing things down for his lordship using a special pen with a feather called a quill. In our time, not many people can read or write, so if they want something recorded, they can pay me to do it.
I don't need to write, I'm too important. My scribe here is writing down my best ideas for building the most magnificent chapel for miles around. But ordinary people don't have scribes and they can't read. So that's why I wanted the chapel to be filled with stories in stone. The pictures that the stonemasons carved into the walls told stories from the Bible and about the nasty things that would happen to them in hell if they weren't good here on earth.
For example, over there you will see a carving of a dragon with his mouth open to represent being swallowed up in hell. The people being swallowed up are all doing wrong or bad things like being greedy or jealous.
But telling people stories about God and teaching them to be good wasn't the only reason I built this chapel. I wanted God to know that I thought he was great, so when I died, I would get into heaven straight away.
Sir William's plan was to build a chapel more than twice the size of this one.
I brought in the finest stonemasons I could find. Some of them came all the way from France with the most modern designs and ideas. The stonemasons would carve their designs into wood first, and if we were happy with their work, would then carve them into stone. I built a village for the workers, Roslyn Village. I gave everybody a house and land and a decent wage because I wanted them to build something extraordinary.
For 40 years, Sir William and Lady St. Clair watched over the building of the chapel.
And when I died, it still wasn't finished. My son Oliver put a roof on the building, but he didn't complete my grand plan.
Some people say there is another reason why Sir William built this chapel, because he had a special secret to hide.
Never mind that. Look at how beautiful it is anyway, even if it was never finished.
Some of my favourite carvings are from nature, boys and girls. Look up to the ceiling and you will see stars and Scottish flowers like these ones. We will hand round them now so you can take a closer look.
Now, what I'd like you to do in a moment, boys and girls, is lie down on the pews here and look up at the ceiling. See if you can decide what types of flowers have been carved into the ceiling, and imagine you are looking up at the heavens. On you go.
Gather in, everyone. Come on, gather in.
What types of flowers did you think you could see?
Was there lilies?
There were. Well done.
Were there poppies?
Not quite. Very close, though.
Were there roses?
Yes, well done. There are roses, lilies, and forget-me-nots.
Now it is time to answer your quiz questions. Take a few moments to answer and ask us for help if you need it. When you are finished, let us know and we will stamp your sheet.
Look up next to the Virgin Mary.
Yellow.
Boys and girls, it is time for you to move on to the Lady Chapel. There you will meet the Master Stonemason himself. Though beware, he has a fierce temper, so you best be on your best behaviour.
The Lady Chapel is this way. Goodbye and good luck.
No, I'm sorry. It was all my fault, really.
I shouldn't have taken over your work. I'm sorry.
But I lost my temper. I'm more sorry.
Oh, stop it, you two. Look, there's more visitors coming to see your work, so stop apologising while I tell them what's going on. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Lady Chapel. This is the Master Stonemason.
Good morning, everyone.
And we are the Master's apprentices. We learn from him how to become expert stonemasons.
The problem is my friend here is only an apprentice, but she's really good, and that's where it all started.
I'm sorry to say that's true. Sir William St. Clair, who built this chapel, ordered me, the Master Stonemason, to carve his 3 stone pillars. I started with this one here, still known in your time as the Master Mason's pillar. I was happy with my work. The middle pillar here was to be plain, as you can see, but Sir William wanted something very special to decorate the pillar over here. So I decided to travel to Italy to look at the latest fashion and techniques in stone carvings. When I returned, the pillar had been completed by my own apprentice, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's still known in your time as the apprentice pillar.
I shouldn't have taken over your work whilst you were away, but I had dreams and visions of what the pillar should look like, and I could not rest until I had tried them out.
When I returned and saw what he had done, I flew into a rage and killed him by hitting him over the head with my mallet here.
The other workers in the chapel were so appalled by what happened, they took the Master Mason and hanged him for his crimes. So now they're spending an eternity apologising to each other. Let's do something more useful and tell these boys and girls more about our work.
We stonemasons spent over 40 years working on the carvings in the chapel. We each have our own special mark, a mason's mark, that we carve to show that this piece or that is our work.
This is my mark. Can I have a pen now, please?
I suppose so.
I've only been waiting 500 years. This is what money in our time looks like. I'll pass it around so you can see, but I'll need it back.
We use a few different tools to do our work. We will pass these around, but please handle them carefully, then return it to us. This is called a mallet, and this is called a chisel. A mallet hits the chisel to give the chisel some force into the hard stone. A chisel cuts, carves, and sculpts the stone.
This part of the chapel is particularly full of fascinating carvings. If you look up around the pillars, you will see 10 angels playing different musical instruments. Can you spot the angel playing bagpipes? Put your hand up if you spot it.
Is it over there?
Correct. Some people call these angels the heavenly choir.
You can see there is a star hanging a little from the ceiling. That's the Star of Bethlehem. You'll recognise the stuff on it from the Nativity. Mary and baby Jesus, the manger, the 3 wise men and the 3 shepherds. There's so much to look at here in the Lady Chapel, and I know you have some quiz sheets to complete now. Please take time to answer the questions correctly, then return it to us so we can stamp your sheet and show you where to go next. Whoever returns their sheet quickest to me with no mistakes shall have taken on as my new apprentices.
The middle one. Oh, yeah.
Well done. Your answers were all so quick and impressive. I've decided I shall take you all on as my new apprentices. Now it's time for you to move on and learn more about this wonderful place where you're going to be working for me. You're heading to the new visitor centre where you'll meet up with some visitors and tourists from your own town. Pass through down there on the door on the right and go straight to the visitor centre. I'll see you all here tomorrow for your first day of work at 5:30 a.m. Don't be late or there'll be no lunch for you. Well, go on then, run along now.
Hey look, more visitors. Hi everyone. Have you come to see Rosalind Chapel? Yeah. Us too. Gather in so we can meet you properly. My name is John and this is my wife Catherine and we're all the way from Edinburgh.
And these are our children, Sandy and Callum. I can't believe you've brought me here on our holidays. An old church going to be so boring.
You say that about everything. Why are you always so grumpy?
Why are you always so annoying? You're such a baby.
That's enough, you two. Sorry about that. We need to try and please Sandy here at Rosalind Chapel. It's much more interesting than listening to his music. Do you think you can help us? Maybe if we can talk about all the things you can see and do, he might start to listen.
There's so many mysteries about the chapel. It shouldn't be difficult to get Sandy interested. I would like to see if I can solve some of the mysteries for myself.
Mysteries? What do you mean? Like what?
Well, it says here in the guidebook that the men who carved chapel were called stonemasons. They carved stories from the Bible and things you could see in nature all around them. So why is there a carving of an elephant, a monkey, and a camel? These things never lived in Scotland. And what about the corn maze from America before you even knew about America?
Let's go find the world now. We will in a moment, but there's more. I need to look at the guidebook. It says here that in the past year, 145,000 people from all over the world came to visit this place.
I suppose some of them wanted to investigate the mysteries for themselves.
Mystery is brilliant. Let's go. Callum, come back and let that visitor go. We're all excited, but we need to see what there's to look at in the guidebook first.
I'm not excited.
I'm excited.
I've got an idea. Maybe you can help us, boys and girls. Can you tell Sandy some of the things that might be good to look at?
Green man.
Friend of this fella. Well, good ideas. What I want to find out is about how the chapel was built and about what their lives were like. It must have been back-breaking work.
Did you know a few years ago the chapel's future was in serious danger? We're actually lucky to see it stand like it is today.
Why?
Well, for a long time there wasn't anyone who had enough money or skills to protect the building. It was beginning to tumble down. If you visited a few years ago, you would have saw the chapel covered in scaffolding and stonemasons working to protect and preserve the building. And Tom Hanks came here to film on location.
Tom Hanks came here.
And so did hundreds of thousands of people once they found out what a fascinating place this is. They've also built this wonderful visitor centre for future generations to enjoy.
And the cafe looks pretty good too.
I want to go and see the elephant carving and the dragon. Oh, and the green man. They look funny. Let's go.
Wait a minute. We're still talking to these nice people, and I need to look at the guidebook again. It says here a man called Sir William St. Clair built the chapel. He wanted to get to heaven quickly when he died. He also wanted to leave something behind that was important, something that would make people learn, but also make them feel happy. I think I would like to make or do something that would, in 100 years' time, people still be talking about.
Mom, you're being embarrassing. We've told you what we want to see at the chapel. I wonder what your favourite bit will be by the end of the tour, and you can tell each other on the way back to school, if you like.
Follow us this way and we will take you into the wonderful visitor centre and stamp your quiz sheet when you're done. So, your first answer will be on this wall. Oh, I think it might be that.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, and also
Victoria. Follow us this way back outside. It's been great meeting you all and talking to you all. You helped us persuade Sandy here. This is such a boring place after all. What do you say we take a selfie?
Dad, don't say selfie, it's embarrassing.
Get ready to say cheese. Cheese!
funny green hat. I'll dance all about, and that is that. We love things green, as you'll have seen, like bogies and slime and mouldy old cheese. Well, if it's green, yes please, yes please. Welcome to the Funny Green Man History Hut.
We're the Green Men, if you hadn't guessed already.
You're probably wondering what we are.
We told them we're Green Men.
Yes, but they probably don't know about us.
What? We're the famous Green Men of Roslyn Chapel. Haven't you heard of us? You heard of us? No? What about you? What do you mean? I thought we're famous. Ugh.
Calm down, calm down. We could tell them about us, and then they know why we're famous.
Good idea. You go first, Greeners.
No, Greenie, you go first.
No, Gringo, you go first.
Fine. I'll go first. You can see over 100 Green Men, like us, carved into the chapel wall. We look like these. We'll hand these round so you can have a closer look.
Green men, part of a belief people had before they knew about Christianity. There are hundreds of green men carved on old churches all over Europe.
The stonemasons who built this chapel believed that the Green Men would bring them good luck, and sometimes we did, when we felt like it. We're a bit naughty and mischievous, so you might see some for making a carving, sticking a tongue out at you or laughing at you. Let's see if you can make a Green Man face. On a count of 3, think of your naughtiest face, and we can all be Green Men together. Got it? 3, 2, 1, go!
Well done, you all make brilliant green men. Some of you are really gruesome. Bet your teacher thinks so too.
We're very old. Some people believe we've been around since Roman times. I think green's the best colour in the world. What does green make you think of? Put your hands up. Here. Anyone else? Okay.
Green is the colour of nature. We make people think of spring and how things grow again even after a hard winter. This was very important hundreds of years ago when there wasn't much to eat during the winter months. We cheer people up, making them think of nice things to eat and fun things to do when the leaves are green on the trees.
There's beautiful nature all around you at Roslyn Chapel. If you go for a walk in the woods after you visit, you might see some butterflies, bats, wildflowers, birds of prey, ferns, and all sorts of trees. All of this nature probably inspired the stonemasons to build this chapel. Look out for carvings of ferns, ivies, roses, and lilies.
This is a good place to stand to see the chapel. Can you see the rectangle walls coming out of the chapel? They are called buttresses.
Butts.
Grow up, you two. You're 500 years old now. No, buttresses. They are the supporting arches inside the chapel, so columns were needed in the centre of the chapel. This was a very clever new idea hundreds of years ago when the chapel was built. It's a bit hard to explain, so let's see if we can explain it better using you.
We need 2 volunteers to be 2 halves of an arch. You and you. Stand with your hands like this. Press the button. Okay. Higher. Keep holding that. Are you tired yet?
Yeah.
What happens when you get really, really tired? You drop them, right? So you need some support.
We need 2 volunteers to be the buttresses. You and you. You stand with your back up straight and your hands together pointing in the air. Same on the other side. If you get tired, you can gently lean against the buttresses. Your friends the buttresses are the reason the chapel is still standing after hundreds of years. What can make it even better is a green man. Give them a round of applause, and you can go back to your spaces now.
We'll give you time to ask us the questions on the quiz sheet. Ask us for help.
Though we might not give you the correct answer. Those